Good afternoon, everyone. It is always a challenge to be the last speaker on the last day in the last session of a successful conference. But let me try the best. When I was asked by the organizers of Waterloss Asia whether I'll be ready to contribute to this conference, I first was grateful and excited because it is a fantastic conference. I've been to many of them when they were still actual conferences and not virtual events. But then I saw the theme of the conference, digital technology and artificial intelligence. And I thought, wow, this is not a topic for me. I'm too skeptical that this will help. What should I say? I have nothing to offer here. But then I thought, well, let's have a look and let's see the big picture. And I agreed to do this presentation. As we all know, there is a serious NRW problem around the world. And together with my colleague Alan Wyatt from the US, I've done a study and we've published this in 2019. So how much water is lost in all urban water distribution systems? And the number is huge. The number doesn't tell us anything. It's just many zeros. But it is enough water to supply 2 billion people. Now, as we all know, a big chunk of this is due to physical losses, is simply due to leakage. Why do we have this leakage problem all over the world? We have a lack of incentives. No management, no CEO wants to do anything because the shareholder is not interested. So if there isn't a very strong regulator, like in the UK, for example, then it's not a priority. So no management focus. If no management focus, nobody is focused, there is no funding, we don't have a water audit, we have no problem analysis. Nobody is quantifying the value of these losses. So consequently, we have no strategy, nobody knows what to do, we have no experience, and so on. And last but not least, we have no money to do anything. So much progress was made since more than 40 years ago, when this famous report 26, and the old guys in the audience will still remember this, it was the leakage reduction Bible from England, from WRC, when this was first published, 1980, 42 years ago. And we made a lot of progress. Look at this. This was a leak noise correlator. I still worked with it. It was huge. It was a machine, as this was as big as a small refrigerator, but much heavier. And you needed a special van to go with this correlator to site. Nowadays, correlators are much smaller, better, nice colors. Can even do it on your smartphone, have just 2 hydrophones. And so all of this has moved on tremendously. But what did we achieve? Well, we had this significant progress. We have everything, the technology, and so on. And I always say with what is written in the report 26, we can presumably solve 90% of the world's leakage problems. But did we really achieve anything on a global scale? And the answer, unfortunately, is no. But now we do something new. We have a new excuse for not going and fixing the leaks. We go digital. This sounds good. Everything is digital and AI and machine learning and blockchains, and wow, this is wonderful. Look at this. If you enter water, digital, artificial intelligence and such things and search for Google Images, you get these things. Wonderful. Now we know what it is. Now we really understand what to do. But what are we looking for in reality? We're looking for leaks, and these leaks must be detected, and very importantly, they must be repaired. Here is a big leak. I took this photo in Manila, a leak on a bigger pipeline, and the kids playing in this water for years, they were very upset when we repaired this leak. Smart guys in Jamaica, these kids even built a pool and supplied by pristine drinking water. And here is a huge leak, 5 million liters per day in Manila. This was running for years and years. And everyone thought this is a small little river. Nobody had any idea it was coming from a big transmission main. So these are the spectacular leaks. We love them. Big leak, big water losses, big problem, and nice photo opportunities, of course. But the big but, is this our real problem? No, I would say it is not. Our problem are the small leaks, the many, many very, very small leaks. Well, you may say, well, it's a small volume of water which is lost here. This is not correct, because don't forget that leakage, how much water you lose from a leak, is a function of time and the flow rate. You can imagine if a leak leaks for half a year, for all year, maybe because you don't find it, the volume is huge, although the leak is so small. Way back, when we started the Manila project, there was a brand new, a fantastic new software, new algorithm who said, well, we can reduce the repair time. Our software will calculate everything and you'll find the leaks. Okay, cool, I was excited, but it wasn't true, because you need such a wealth of data, flow data, pressure data, and we simply didn't have this data. So digital did not help us. So we need to see what the sector must do in general to achieve something on a global scale, to reduce leakage everywhere. So first we must start with leakage-centric planning, design and construction. I find it always sad if there are new parts of the distribution network are built, new expansion areas, and nobody thinks of DMAs, nobody thinks of zones, nobody thinks of pressure management. So the planning and design has to take this into account. We need to desperately look at the quality of our materials, and last but not least, the workmanship. And this is not only in some, poor countries in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America. No, poor workmanship, you will also find this in Europe. And my colleague Jo Parker, she did a lot of studies, and it's sad what you find in England, for example, poor construction quality. So we need to look at this whole thing, and if we don't get this first thing right, then we don't need digital, we don't need artificial intelligence. Normal intelligence is good enough for this. But yet, so often, it is not done, it is overlooked, it is forgotten, and nobody sees the importance. So we need a new mindset. We need to think leakage. And the former president of Manila, one of the two water utilities in Manila, he said once, we need to eat, sleep, drink NRW. Means we need to be completely focused on NRW reduction, on leakage reduction. We need to change operations. I came once to a big city in a low-income country, huge, several million population, huge network, talked to the CEO, and asked him, said, well, do you have a leak detection department or anything? Yeah, we have specialists. They are only working on NRW reduction. And said, where are they? I said, their office is somewhere down the road there. So I went to them. It was a tiny little room, 2 guys with 2 vintage computers and not even a car. So they were sitting there all day. What chance have they got? So this was how much focus was put on NRW management. Who is responsible? Well, normally everyone is responsible, which means to me nobody is responsible at the end of the day. We need to change the organization. We need to restructure. We need to have a powerful NRW department, which is not somewhere down the ladder, somewhere, below distribution, below this. No, they must report directly to the CEO. They must be on top. They need to control everything. So NRW management and leakage management is key and must have the highest priority in the utility. Now, can all utilities do this? Do they have the know-how? Do they have the equipment? Do they have the funds? Do they know what to do? Well, in so many cases not. But there is the private sector. So why on earth don't you contract this out? If you build a pumping station, you'll not do it yourself. You use a contractor. You need to have a consultant for the design. You have a contractor. And they do it for you. So why not NRW management? There are good examples of very successful performance-based contracts where complete NRW management was outsourced to the private sector. But it's only a very, very few cases worldwide. It should be mainstream. It should be normal. Like you take Europe, it is quite common that leak detection, for example, is outsourced. And there are specialized companies who provide these services. And why is this so important? Because as a utility, your main job is to supply water to your customers, of course. So you don't even have time to think about NRW management. So you need somebody who does not have to supply water to the customers, who can be focused on NRW management. Funding. This is close to my heart. I came to places where people thought that from day one it will be beneficial. We reduce leaks and this will be self-financing. No, this is unfortunately, very unfortunately, not true. We need to improve the infrastructure. We need to restructure the network. We need to build DMAs. We need to do all of the things which were not done in the past. And this needs money. So the upfront investments can be quite significant, but this needs to be understood. This needs to be understood by the utility shareholders, by the management, by the financing institutions, by everyone, guys. Without having proper upfront funding, we cannot do anything in a sustainable way. Yes, of course, we can go out and find a few leaks here and there. This is good, but this will not solve our problem. So when we talk about the break-even point of such projects, this of course depends totally on the cost of raw water, whether I can sell the recovered water or not, many things. But in general, it's unrealistic to assume that this will be less than 7 years normally, in normal cases. So we need a good financing concept, and a lot of utilities struggle already with this. So now we are 42 years after report 26. So still leakage management is not a focus area. It is something which is also done. Somewhere we find a few illegal connections, find a few leaks to this and this, but it's not done in a holistic, comprehensive way. So basically every utility in every country could benefit from improved leakage management. Now you will say, okay, what does this, where is digital technology, where are all the new things? So, this old guy, he's only talking about the old, no, I wouldn't use the word now, but about these old things. No, we had a great conference. We had a conference in Prague in June this year, the Waterloss, the IWA Waterloss conference, and this had a huge exhibition. And I saw many equipment manufacturers, solution providers, everything. Everything was interesting, good products here, there, left, right. Wow, I thought, cool, there are tools, there are things out. But, a lot of things I knew, nothing so special. Leak detection equipment now painted in a different color to sell basically the same model at a higher price. We had wonderful concept, wonderful software solutions. Not so important for me if I don't have the data. But then, if I remember only one thing where I thought, this could make a difference. And this is this beautiful noise logger, which works on the NB IoT technology. And I was impressed. I said, okay, yes, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are technologies and things out in the market which can really help us to achieve the big overall target to globally reduce NRW. And with this last presentation, last day, I come to the end of my talk. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask now or send me an email anytime you want. Thank you very much.